Welcome back, and let's proceed where we left, and we want to modify further this Gable connection here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going just to, as I had showed you, just select any part of this connection, then press letter M on your keyboard and press enter on your keyboard. This will bring the editor dialog box, and from there you'll be able to edit it further. Now let's just give some time to bring the editor dialog box, and from here we'll be able to customize it. Now, if you take a look here, we have these in place. So we have the bolts protruding outside, and we can actually adjust these to our preference. You can maybe I can even key in there, and I can give it apply, and if that will bring it outward. But that's not the best direction you want it to come to. So you find out that if I take it slightly inward, you'll be able to see there's a slight clash because the pulse is no longer connecting any part of either between the rafter and the column. So let's just bring that outward by that 50 or by 20 right there. So we have that in place. So that's okay. So what I'm going to do, we can either adjust this of this stiffener, or maybe by 20. Let's see where it will go, and that will not work things properly. If I click on that, that will open up, and that's it. If I come to plates here and come to general here, we can also adjust this. If we make this to be 50 and click apply, we'll be able to see we can adjust the plates and even take these to make it 10, or just because it was 60 initially, so you can pay back that by typing a -10 that way. So I'll click OK. So once we've created a connection here, you can see that plate was an extension between that beam. So we want to repeat the same to the other end. So instead of going back and key in the dimensions, is not right, or it's not the best way possible. Just type, select any part and press enter. So we want to save this particular connection so that we'll be able to apply on the other end. So let's just give some time to bring it up so that we'll be able to create a preset here. So in here, I'm going to go to macro presets and click save as, and I'm going to just type GC or Gable connection 101, and I can just go ahead and click OK. And once I've clicked OK, I'm going to click load and click apply and give it an OK. So once I've done so, if I go to the next connection and apply the same the same type of connection, I'll be able to just select on that, right click, and we have that in place, connection default. So we'll default on that, and we'll not be able to waste so much time in creating that, going back and forth. So if you click on that, we'll be able to create a connection right there. So you can see we've created a connection right there on the Gable side. So the next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to apply some tie beam here, because once you've erected all these on site, the beams will not be that stable standing without any a tie beam tying all these together. So let's just bring in a tie beam here. So how do you create that tie beam? Unfortunately, we have some points here that will help us in creating a tie beam there. So I'll come to beam and maybe just snap on that spot, or snap on that spot. Another thing, you can just snap on the end here, then give it an offset after confirming the location where you want that tie beam to be located. In our case, we want that tie beam to be fitted right here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the same process, or the same workflow, by just snapping on that spot and snapping on this particular spot, so that I'll create a member right there. So you can see I'm still defaulting on this kind of profile, because the system is still detecting that our default still member is still IPE 300. So from here we can change this to maybe a tube. So let me just click on this tail section, I-beam section. So this will take me to a huge steel family or catalog that I'll be able to pick that particular tube profile. So let's just give some time to load all the details or all the catalogs here. So let me minimize that by clicking on that drop down arrow. So if I scroll down and come to round tubes or round profiles, I'm going to click on that drop down arrow and I'll have a huge family of tubes. So I want to come to pipe and click on the pipe, and I'll be able to pick on the right pipe here. I can pick nominal diameter maybe of 100. Let me just use the 200 here and click apply and give it an OK here. So if I click that, I'll be able to have my pipe right there. But remember, we can't connect it here because we actually don't have enough space for that to appear there. So let me just pick any part there. So let me just pick any section here by left clicking, then hold your right button on your mouse and move your mouse like that. So we want to give it an offset downward so that we can create a connection here. So let me just right click and come to special move here and come to linear. So once I'm in linear, I'll be able just to click reset so that we have everything at with a coordinate 0, 0, reading 0, 0. So let me just click reset. So in this particular case, I want to work on the z-axis. So that's where I'll be able to feed in the exact measurement where the exact measurement which I intend this member to move to. So in our case, we want to move slightly down by some distance. So I'll come to z-axis and prefix that dimension by a negative sign because you're moving in the opposite direction of z-axis. So let me just key in 400 or 300 will be okay, and click move. So it will move, but slightly. There's a slight collision there. So I'll just retain that 300 and click move once again by 300. But there is still a slight collision because it's still messing up with our stiffeners on the knee connection here. So let me just add another 3 there. So let's place it there and click OK or click close. So once it is there, we can go further and create a connection. So I'll scroll up and come to the best connection. The best connection we can use maybe beam to column connection. So which one can you use here? Let me just scroll up and we can use something like this. Let me just scroll down and come somewhere here. Let's get an end plate right there and try that and try connection there and right click, and that is not supported, and unfortunately that will not be created right there. So let me just minimize this, minimize that, and come beam to beam and beam to column, and let me just come down here and try and get one. So let me just scroll up here and we'll go to bracing connections, and we can use bolted gasket connection. So I can pick this column and pick on our tie beam and right click, and we can have a gasket connection here. So we can either go further and edit this, or we can just leave it as it is. So I can go back. I'll come back here and create a similar connection there like that and right click. So once I've right clicked, it is active or connection has been created. So to rotate this, just pick any left click there, any part of the point you try to narrow down on, and hold your right button on the mouse and try and rotate it. We have a connection right in place. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mirror this on the other end by selecting it. So once I've selected it, I'm going to create a mirror line right at the center here and then mirror that on the other end. So I'll right click as I have said and come to mirror. So once I'm in mirror line, I can define my mirror line here and move all the way to somewhere there, snap on that spot, and we have created a mirror, and I go ahead and click run. So this will copy this tie beam on the other end, and I'll click close. So if you take a look on the other end, we have the connection, that tie beam on the other end, and I can go ahead and select this one also, and we'll pick everything with connection because we don't want to guess, and try to rotate that, and we'll include all this. We'll include all that. So once we've done so, what I'm going to do, I'm going to right click and come to special copy and pick on linear. So our main aim is to populate this tie beam all the way to the full length of our structure. So let me just mouse over at the bottom end here until I snap to the right point here. So let me just snap right there and snap to this far end here, just to define the distance of these columns. So if I just mouse over here until I see a red spot, meaning that I'm on the right snap, and click on that. So the moment I click on that, you can be able to see this is 6 meters. So how many do I need? I need approximately 11. I can just click 11, or just give it 12. I'll go ahead and click copy. So if I click copy, I'll give some time to populate that along that distance. So I forgot just to zoom it out so that you can see the actual process taking place. So we can just as well leave it as it is. Then once it's done, I can be able to zoom in, and you'll be able to see all the beams have been, all the tie beams have been assigned to their respective locations, connecting to column to their also to their respective columns. So let's just give some time to process all that information in one go. So we are almost there. That is number 10, number 11, and we are number 12 all the way. So just give it some time, and I think it's done. So we'll have this, just some bit of errors, and some minutes, some microseconds down completed to do that task. I can go ahead and click close that and close this. So if I zoom out, we'll be able to have that in place. So the error that is indicating is this one. So we can just go ahead and click delete, because we had created that in excess. Now that's done, and that's what I intended to show you in this particular presentation. So on the base plate, you can just use the same. You can just come to click on that drop down arrow and come to base plate. You can scroll down and come to base plate here, and just apply the base plate on the Gable columns there. So once that has been created, you can always go to the macro presets, and just apply the same that we had used on the other columns. So remember, the PEB use the same setting of the base plate for the tapered and the normal beam for COMOSYS, and like other detailing and like other detailing softwares. So I'll apply the same that I had used previously for a normal column. I'll come here and click that, and click load, and click apply. So you'll find that already in place. So that's all, and let's meet then on the next presentation. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and let's meet then. I hope you'll try this by yourself in COMOSYS, and have things moving smoothly in using COMOSYS. Bye bye, and let's meet then. Though we've gone beyond some minutes, we hope beyond our 10 minutes, but that's okay. I hope you'll try that by yourself.